Hello and welcome to next session of Baat Pachishi. And today we are going to discuss the possibility of Mamdani fellow, son of well-known filmmaker of Indian origin, Mira Nayar, being elected as a governor of one of the most dynamic, big and rich city of United States, New York. And to discuss that perspective and what's happening there, what are the undercurrent, what are the possibilities, and how people are taking it, especially the Jews and Indians and others. We have with us a very distinguished and knowledgeable fellow, Dr. Ram RamKumar. Is joining us from the Seattle. Welcome, sir. Welcome to Baat Pachishi. And that's a very interesting subject going on in India, especially in the so-called liberal media of India. They are going gaga over it. They are going happy over it. They are even taking and describing at one more defeat Modi might have, because Mamdani will be the mayor of New York City. I mean, these things are being said in the social media and even in the television discussions by certain people. So, sir, welcome to Baat Pachisi, and how things are happening in New York, and what are your observations and views about Mr. Mamdani?
Madhav Singh ji, thank you so much for inviting me to share my thoughts with you. It's an honor.
Welcome,
Um,
sir.
yes, just you said something about Modi and Mamdani. What did you say?
Yeah, there are certain people in Indian media or people connected with certain political parties. They say that Modi will be defeated in New York, as Mamdani will be in New York, and Hindutva parties will be able to nothing, in spite of so many Hindutva fellows in USA and all that. That is being said in the media, and the articles have been written about, and also on the social media, and so many things are going on. So I was just making you aware about
Okay.
the
Yeah.
liberal thought process, a
No, no, I
part of
know.
it.
I know you like liberals a lot. You love them. So do I. But the thing about liberals in India, or even not just liberals, even Modi supporters in India,
Yeah,
they tend to view everything that's happening in the US, whether it is Mamdani or Trump, through the lens of India.
yeah,
But where that is really, I'm sorry to use the word, but that is really ignorant. I mean, maybe willful ignorance, but they know, but still they prefer to do that. Nobody cares. In fact, Trump, by now it is obvious that Trump doesn't care about India or his friendship, so-called friendship with Modi. Trump is a very transactional person. Anyway, leave Trump aside. It's not about Trump. Even the Mamdani, what is happening there has nothing to do with, it's really idiotic. I agree with you. It's idiotic to say that Modi is being defeated in New York.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
now, just because he says a hateful thing, he called Modi what is it, a war criminal recently. Somebody asked him in an interview, "Will you meet with if Modi comes to New York? Will you meet with him?" And his answer was just like Netanyahu, he's a war criminal. So they're both the same. So he says really offensive stuff like that. But anyway, that is because number one is, firstly, my opinion. I'll share my opinion from what limited knowledge I have. He's definitely an Islamist, pure and simple. He has had a long history, right from his probably school and college days, and his family also. They have they have Islamist views, and he himself personally, he has said and done many things anti Hindu, anti Modi for sure, and probably anti India. He doesn't care. And he keeps on saying about that Modi killed 2,000 people in Gujarat and so on and so forth. So, but and he is a true jihadi in the sense it is not just anti-Modi. He is also virulently anti-Israel, anti-Jewish state. So all these things, and plus he's very smart. He has done, and if you have noticed, he is aiming his target voter are the poor people, the immigrants, and all those people. He doesn't care about the Wall Street types or the Hindus for that matter. As I told you, the numbers itself, even if all 800,000 Hindus vote against him, he still has 8 million votes that he can target. And even if you take out all the Jews, he still has more than 7 million votes. And now he's smart in many ways. Number one, he's very savvy. He's a good speaker, and he is, you can never see him. And I have not seen him, angry or shouting at people. Nothing like that. He's always smiling, and he's always invariably wearing a suit and a tie. Even though he's targeting the poorest people, he doesn't walk around in jeans or t-shirt saying I am with the poor people. He presents a savvy picture of himself on TV. So that is one. He is always smiling, and he is very articulate. He speaks very well, and he can convey his thoughts very well. Even if you don't agree with him, you have to respect the fact that he is able to present his views very well. And here, not only in India, the liberal media here too is absolutely, taken in by his personality. And now he's been, I'm sure AOC. What is the name? AOC's name, Kosi? The New York, yeah, Cortez, who is a New York Democratic politician and a member of the House of Representatives. She's very popular in New York and very loud and vocal. She and what are the other two women? I forget their names. That Somali woman. What is the name, Kausalya? Okay. Ilhan Omar. I'm sure you know Mother Singh.
Ilhan Omar. Oh yes, yes. That
Yeah.
with the turban lady with the turban.
Yeah, exactly. The lady with the turban and the other lady, I can't remember her name now. So the three of the group, the gang of three, whatever it's called, she's one of them, and she's Alexander AOC as she's called, and she's of course absolutely so praising him so much, and also Bernie Sanders. I'm sure you're familiar with his
Yeah,
name
yeah,
also.
yeah, yeah.
He's a good human being, and he's a senator for a very very long time, and he's an independent senator, I think, but still he always caucuses with the Democrats. So all of them, all the left of center, or I should say extreme, almost extreme left of center. These are all extreme left. Like if you take he is considered this fellow Mamdani. The things he is promising again. If you have to remember who he is targeting. He is targeting the poor, the immigrants, and illegals. One person might be illegal, but then the family, several people may have citizenship. So he's targeting them, and New
Right.
York City. Yeah, go ahead.
No, no, please continue, sir. Right.
Yeah, so New York City has been historically totally Democrat. Yeah, a few House of Representatives. I don't remember how many seats they might have. There are, but almost the entire state. Definitely New York City. Almost, I think, in my memory, I don't know if they had a Republican mayor ever. Bloomberg, I think, was the only one I remember who ran as a independent, even though he was Republican, then he was Democrat. He kept changing it. But anyway, they've been Democrat more or less all the time, and including this time. And as I said, I don't know if I mentioned that. I mentioned that it's 60% of the registered voters in New York City. And by the way, you said governor. I think you meant mayor, right? It's a mayor election.
Mayor, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. By mistake, you might have said governor. So the mayor. No, he defeated in the Democratic primary Cuomo. I'm sure you remember him, Andrew Cuomo, who
Yeah.
was actually the governor of the state. Still, he was defeated, and Cuomo had the backing of all establishment Democrats, including Clinton and all those names. I can't remember the names now. So he had the backing all the establishment Democrats. Still, this guy Mamdani won because the sheer numbers he's targeting the like in India, they always target the poorest people. That's where the votes are. Promise them anything, just like what is that fellow in Delhi? What is his name? They literally,
Kejriwal.
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 Just like Kejriwal, and including say, India in Chennai, Stalin, and all that, they
Yeah.
promise everything free. Now, this fellow, you may know that, but I'll tell you, he has promised everything. The
Yeah.
extreme left is almost a communist thing. That
Hmm.
all buses will be free, and there will be supermarkets. The government will, or the city will have their own supermarket, the grocery stores, uh, where people can shop, because there's it is claimed that all the poorer neighborhoods don't have grocery stores, because the big names don't want to come there, because they don't make money. So he said we will open our own stores. So this is now, you if you think, and then he wants to bring back rent control. Think of all these things which all failed, including in India: rent control, ration stores. What good have they done? Nothing.
Nothing.
He's promising all the things that and Trump is right. He's saying he's an out and out communist. Yes, all he says is communist. That is what he says, and he knows. I'm sure he knows that it has all failed. But then, as politicians do, that will get the votes. But there is a strong incentive for his target voter to vote for him, as against Trump, mainly on Trump has said many of the same. He promised, he'll bring prices down and all that. But what has happened actually is the opposite. And then, after saying he will send back all the illegal criminal illegals, now it then became just illegals. Now he's going after not just legal immigrants, but even now, even yesterday, some citizens they're targeting some criminals. Now, this is because in his administration, Trump himself may not be, he is driven mostly by his advisors. Whatever wins, whatever is good for him, he will do. Trump doesn't have a specific policy or anything in mind, whether it is tariffs or whether it is foreign policy. For that moment, if it will bring him benefit, for him personally, that is my view. He will do it, and but his supporters, including some in his administration, appear to be have taken the view that it is not just illegals. Immigration, not illegal immigration, is bad. We don't need any immigrants in the US. Ideally, we would like to send back all of them, including, let's take, for example, me. Or you take, forget me, even people like Nadella and Sundar Pichai and all, they're all immigrants. If taken to an extreme case, this is what some people in his administration, they are saying that much. Yeah, I don't know if do you know Steve Bannon? Okay,
Yes, sir.
Steve Bannon. Maybe
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I heard about him. Heard about him.
yeah, Steve Bannon is an extreme right wing, almost KKK kind of guy. And then he's not the only one. And Steve Bannon is a very smart guy. He was on Wall Street and all that. So they are saying, I've heard Steve Bannon say, if you go to Silicon Valley, there is apartheid in Silicon Valley. What he means by that is that all the big shot people earning such salaries and having own companies and have their own aircraft, not all, the majority of them are immigrants, not just Indians or Russians or Chinese. Yes, it is probably true also. What he says may be true. So the what they look at, only white Americans are true Americans. That some people have that view. That has not been an experience in the past 40 years. But of late, such extreme views have people are not afraid to express it in public. Anyway, coming back to New York. Now, the Mamdani goes against all these things. He's an immigrant. He's black, or he's not white anyway, and he's a Muslim. And so, how much worse can it be? And he's also an immigrant. He's a citizen, but still, they talked about deporting him for what? He's already an immigrant. A citizen is a citizen, right? Once you become a citizen, you're supposed to be a citizen. That's it. Now they say, no, no, we'll revoke the citizenship. There's no basis for that. But the fact that they're saying all this is they are definitely thinking that he may win. And this is quite, and coming back to his own electoral strategy. So he's targeting these people, knowing fully well what the flack he will face, especially from Trump. But regardless of what Trump will do, I think my personal opinion is Mamdani will win. As I said, the most of the almost every time in New York City, mayor has been Democrat, and the city is mostly made up of the kind of people I told you about. So once you make these promises, just like Kejriwal, that is an additional incentive for them, and also they are already afraid of being deported and all that. So and he's saying, I will not allow that in my city. He doesn't have the powers. If Trump decides to deport someone,
Yeah.
Nani cannot stop him.
Yeah.
But he's saying that, see, and people will believe that because that is a danger. You appeal to the most pressing problems of these people. It is now. It always used to be property and transportation and childcare. He's also promised free childcare for all children. So free childcare, free buses, and I don't remember what are some other things. And so government runs ration shops or just stop shops. So all these things are good for them. They will listen to it, just like Kejriwal is able to win. And on top of that, you have this deportation thing, and that also he says he will fight. Just because he says, people will like to believe, even though they may know if they think about it, he doesn't have the powers. But anyway, so for all these reasons, I think he will win. And Trump and the Republicans, if you ask me, they will throw all kinds of mud against him and threaten him and all that. But if he wins, which is most probably he will, uh, before that, let me just tell you one thing. Another thing is he is the Democratic candidate now. There are two, and the Republican candidate is one guy who I used to like. He, Silva, something. He's a Latino. He used to run back 30, 40 years ago when there was so much crime in America. He had his own set of people who will take on criminals on the in buses and nighttime on the metro trains. If his gang will go and beat up those fellows and not wait for the police. So he became very popular. He was kind of a, what do you call that? Vigilante. That was the word I was looking for. He was a vigilante. So he is the candidate. Again, he's a good candidate, if you ask me, because he's done these things, and he's not definitely a communist kind of guy, and he is also against immigration, but he only says I'm against illegal immigration, which nobody will object. Now, but since most of the people are Democrat in New York City, his chances of winning are very almost non-existent. On top of that, there are two other candidates. One who was the New York mayor, the incumbent mayor. I think he's still the mayor. I don't know if his term is. He's a black guy. He is a Democrat. He won with some 70% or 80% landslide last time against the Republican candidate. But this time, Trump, he was caught in some bribery scandal.
Mhm.
And they filed, he got in a federal case. There's a twin system of law in the US. There are state cases and there are federal cases. He was caught in some federal bribery case, and Trump made a deal with him and Trump said, I will drop this case, just like they do in India. You
Yeah,
come
yeah.
outside, we'll withdraw all the cases. He did that, and this fellow has been fighting, trying to stop Mamdani, and he cannot. But now he's saying, I'm going to run as an independent, just like in India, to split the vote. Because there is a good percentage of blacks also, apart from the ethnic minorities, there are blacks also. So he's already been a black mayor, so he will take away some of the votes. And then there is the governor, former governor, who contested against Madani not Madani, what's his name, Mamdani
Mamdani.
and Andrew Cuomo. He lost, he conceded, but now I read yesterday that he is also saying, I may run as an independent, all to get at Mamdani and prevent him from becoming mayor. But in spite of all this, I think there is a 70% chance he'll become mayor. The Republicans, many Republicans are saying this will actually be a godsend for us because once he becomes the mayor, already people are talking, many Democrats and the liberal media throughout the US are saying he is our hero, the Mamdani fellow. He's fighting back. But the Republicans and probably Mamdani also know that many of the promises he's making are not possible or will ruin New York finances and bring it back to a state where it was 20, 30 years ago when they almost became bankrupt at one point. The city, whole city. Uh, I think it was in the late 70s. Only the federal government bailed them out, I think. So it will bankrupt them. So once, if he becomes mayor, he will become the face of the Democrat, the new leader of the Democrats in the country. He'll become the face of the Democrats. And once they see him miserably fail and crash and burn, that will be a great advertisement for us. This is what the Democrats will do. So they'll be quite happy if he becomes mayor and see him crash and burn. And of course, President Trump will make sure he fails. So it's very difficult to fight Trump. So that is where it stands. Anyway, so any comments, sir?
Yes, sir. So that is your assessment that in spite of being being a radical Islamist and promoting those kind of activities and ideas, and the way he has been going to the mosque and lecturing there, that we have a chance, and that thing is happening. How the people are taking it, the after 9/11, the 25 years, 24 years, and this sustained, very sustained strategic, you can say, I mean there is no other word, action or attack is being done on most of the democratic societies, particularly whole of Europe and USA. So how they say that after 25 years, in spite of going these things going back, they are going forward, in a more serious and vicious matter. Things are going to happen. What is your assessment, sir?
I'm understanding your question to be, in spite of 9/11, when
Ji.
Islamic terrorism uh, uh, s- created that horror in New York, after all that happened on 9/11, how is it that New Yorkers will again
Mm.
vote for a mayor, is Muslim mayor who supports Hamas and spouts jihadi slogans and all that? Is that your question?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, that's a good question. In my opinion, the answer is that happened 25 years. When did it happen? 2002 or when
Yeah,
was it?
2001, 2001.
2001, 24 years ago.
Yeah,
So most of the people would have, it's a distant memory, number one.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It
It is
is.
just like in India,
Mm.
emergency and all the things. It's a distant memory, and so many things have happened after that. Now people, vote, as I said, people to what is my immediate problem. See, but you and I may read history books and articles, read about the emergency and the Allahabad court case and all that, but as I said, most of the majority of voters, 70-80% of the voters, their problem is putting food on the table. Their problem is getting to work and back. Therefore, problem is not having childcare or be very expensive. He's making just like Kejriwal. So he's making all those promises to them on those grounds. They're not thinking about 9/11. They're thinking about, okay, he said, no, I don't have to pay for buses and trains in New York. My child care will be free, and my rent control, what cost me $3,000 will become $1,000. All
Mm.
those things is what appealing. And then, as I told you, the big thing, this may not seem like a huge thing from America, I mean, from India. What
Mm.
immigrants community as a whole, all across America, not just illegals, all across immigrant communities are living in fear. The level of fear may be different. See, for me, at least at this point, it is academic. What if he brings the thing, he can do it to me also. For
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
it will be academic. And I might have a place to go. I might have money in India and just go and live. If he throws Trump says, like, Idi Amin did that one time, if you remember.
yeah.
He just threw them out. I don't like Indians, get out. So the progression in so far has been in that direction. It may not go that far, I agree. But the
Mm,
thing is, for people like me, it may seem as a theoretical possibility that I have to keep in mind and be cautious, think about. But majority of them in New York City, especially, it is a matter of life and death for them. Many of them have been put on planes and not only sent back to their own country, they sent to third countries, so to rot in some prison. So those are very, very. So, besides the economic promises, obviously unrealistic and utopian promises he has made, that itself will they like it. They are not thinking about 9/11. And then there is now immigration, they're called ICE. I don't know if you know the ICE, immigration something, ICE
mhm.
police.
Ice, ice.
Yes, ICE, exactly. And the way they're doing it, again, you must have seen that they are stopping people on the street or coming to their work or coming to their places of work, coming into the kitchen in a restaurant. They're coming in unmarked cars, and they're coming with hoods on their faces. You can't see them. They don't show
Mm,
their badges, and they put you in a car. You don't know what car. So it is possible that this might be a kidnapping. We don't even know who they are. They're doing
mm,
that not on a random basis. Regularly, they're doing it. They have their own. They say that we are afraid of being identified and something. I don't think that is true. In that I don't think that is a valid excuse. But anyway, so what I'm saying, the fear is so high in the immigrant communities. I cannot even me. I live here. I cannot imagine what the fear will be. Every day they'll have to live in fear, especially if you are poor and you have three children and you have nothing to go back to. You come from some poor place in Mexico or Honduras. You are afraid of being taken, not only sent back, you will be put in a prison for God knows how long. So, what I'm saying is the fear. There is a fear. Unfortunately, the way they are doing it, the initial intentions were good to stop illegal immigration and restore some semblance of law and order as far as people coming, everybody coming to America. Yes, that's not a good thing. But the way it is being done, it has sown fear, such morbid fear in the communities that they will be receptive. So the fear, he says, I will fight them. Whether he is now, they're not going to think, what does the Constitution say, whether he can fight them. They'll say, okay, he's saying at least he'll fight it. He will keep us here. And two, he promises free this, free that. So they will vote for him. So that is my understanding, explanation of why would a city which went through 9/11 do it, vote for an Islamist. If somebody goes to, because he doesn't anyway. So and also some of that is also, he like I said, he's smart enough not to appear in a Islamic garb or shouting Islamic slogans on a cafe, whatever it's called, the palace. He goes everywhere in a suit and tie to every place, even in the poorest communities. Anyway, that is my theory. Anyway,
Right, sir. Thank you very much. So it was a very, very wide, analysis and experience sharing from so many angles to understand from a perspective of a resident US, I mean, citizen,
what is
and
your
that
opinion, Madhav Singh ji? What is your opinion of?
my opinion is same, sir. In spite of all the negativity, which are rightly so there, but the kind of the support, because I mean the Democrat must be having a particular base of I mean the loyal voters. They will vote for whatever, most of them for their candidate. And then New York being New York, there are other influences of wokeism and something, anything to go contrary. And there is a history of as you said, Democrat being the mayor of New York City. So thank you very much, Mr. Ram Kumar, and thanks for sharing your views. And we will come back to you to discussing the various aspect which are happening in India and as well as US.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. We'll
What is
come
that
back.
music? Could I hear some music? Oh, wait a minute. Must be on my. Is it on my computer? Must be. Sounds like
Yeah,
a.
yeah, yeah. No problem.
Sorry about that.
So no problem. So we'll meet again and
Okay, let me
discuss
switch it off.
other important issues.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So please, I'll be back. So we were
Okay.
talking with a very distinguished guest, Dr. Ram RamKumar from USA, who was sharing his opinion and assessment about the Mamdani fellow running for mayor post of New York City. So hope you like the discussion, and please subscribe to our budding channel Baat Pachisi and share the link with your friends and relatives. We will come back with the